This is part 3 of the video where we are taking tokens or cookies from a server and reading them and then sending them back in messages and inside of superflows. And so this time, instead of using last visit as the token name, we're going to use whatever token name is being used by the server. That token will be read from the server, placed into a message, and sent back to the server using bpsvar. And I've already made the changes, so we've kind of gone through the mechanics of doing this. So I'm just going to go through and take a look at this. This is the client side. So we have a conditional response, and instead of what we were using before, we now have, and we're matching on set cookie, and then dot star question mark equals dot star question mark. Don't forget you want the semicolon here, and this is going to pull the information of both name and the cookie itself. So I'm going to send a get message, and this will be the second get message, and that's going to use, the get message is going to use this. And then I'm also sending the post. First the get message, scroll down to the bottom, and this is under cookie name and cookie value. I use bpsvar 0 and bpsvar 1 with the pound signs, just like it's shown here, check mark over here. And then in the post, I'm doing that, and I guess I left one out, so let's add it. bpsvar 1 hashtag. The further up though, you may have noticed as I scrolled past it real quick. So this is, let's open this up a bit. We're still in the post. This is a string for post content. So what I'm doing here is just kind of a little debug mechanism that you could use. You could actually send the contents of bpsvar 0 and 1 and others, bpsvar 2, all the way to 9 if you wanted to. And by putting that here, what I'm actually doing is putting the contents of bpsvar into into part of the message, so that when I look at a pcap file, I can actually see the contents and maybe figure out, I thought it was going into bpsvar 0, but for some reason I'm storing it in bpsvar 2 or 3, so maybe I need to go back and look at my superflow to see where I've unintentionally grabbed information earlier than I was expecting. It's just I'm just kind of showing this so you know that this is a way of possibly helping you solve a problem when things aren't turning out the way you expect them to. So that's string, and that's pretty much it for I'm space delineating this by spaces. I could use commas, whatever you want to do. It's going to print this out pretty much just like you see it there. So let's return. Let's back up and just check and see. So that's all that we've got here. 2 gets, a post. We'll back up. Yeah, I guess I did make a change, and then we'll look at the server side. So server side, a conditional request. Now this side is going to be looking for gets and posts, so it's matching on get, and it's matching on get again, and then it's matching on post. And this is the initial get message that we're sending to the server. And so this is the first time that it's going to return the token back to the client side. And so underneath that, we'll see 200 OK response. And then we'll drop down here and we'll see the same thing under the next get message. And then under the last one, which is the post, we'll see 200 OK. And I also added a close. And in each one of these cases, I type this in, right? This is essentially just a text match. And then I used this plus sign, and by hitting that plus sign, it's going to add underneath. If I added this, I would add something actually after that close. So this is where I found the close. This is where I find the 200 OK. I add these messages to the superflow, and then go in and let's take a look at one of them. The close just doesn't need any modifications. And I've used Ixia as my cookie name. So the cookie name before, we were using last visit, but now I've changed it to something. So the client side, we didn't see this phrase anywhere on the client side. Client side now has no idea. The set cookie command on the client side is going to be looking for anything, and it's going to save it in bpsvar and use it. So I can have any cookie name I want, any cookie value, and it's just going to save that. So all of my 200 OKs pretty much should look identical, I believe. We'll take another look at another one, and we'll see the same thing. Ixia 1, 2, 3, 4 under cookie name and cookie value, and just kind of double checking at this point. There's the first match, and there's the 200 OK, and there is here at the bottom Ixia 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're set up. Everything's ready to go. Client and server. I'm going to back out of that, and let's go set up our test. I'm going to bring this test up, and then we're going to run it. I'll pause, and we'll come back with the taking a quick look at the pcap file. Here we go. So far, so good. So the test is complete. Let's close this. Let's run up to here and export packets. Okay, we're going to do that again. I'll put it back on pause. Okay, I restarted the test because I forgot to check off these boxes before starting it. So now we have some data we can take a look at, and I'll export the client side, and we'll bring it up in pcap and take a quick look. Just like we did before, I'm going to scroll down here and see if I can catch up with let's see, a post sort of command. And not all of these, it looks like not all of these completed the way they should have. There we go. Post. Now, so this is, two gets and a post. So if we go back, we'll see this. Here's a get, and go back a little right there, and then there's the 200 OK. So let's take a look at this post command. First of all, the set cookie is going to grab the new name and the new number, and there we see it. Cookie Ixia equals 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what we're looking for. And then, but the other little experiment, if we, and all of the get commands should have, I should say, the second get command of each one of these exchanges, superflows, connections, each one, the second get command like this one should also have those in it. The first one, of course, happens before the server passes the token back out to us, back out to the client. Here you can see I've stored up bpsvar 0, 1, 2, 3, and so you can see what's stored in them, and you can see Ixia and 1, 2, 3, 4 stored in bpsvar, and there's a blank here, and so maybe using commas is a better delineator, because you can tell you'd have like comma, comma, comma here at the end, so that you can tell that we're missing, you know, that the third bpsvar2 doesn't have anything in it. But we can jump back and look at, let's see, this get, and there we see the cookie Ixia equals 1, 2, 3. There's the 200 OK. So you can see what's happening in here, and this looks like possibly the very first one, and there's no cookie yet. So that's what we expect to see. And so this has just been hopefully a useful video to show you step by step how to take cookies coming in from a or a lot of things, maybe coming in from a server, putting them into your Superflow and using it in follow-up messages back out to the server. And so I hope this has been useful. This has been Rob Crawford of Ixia Federal, and that's the end of our video.